Tech News with Kevin Richards, joining us on the KDON Live line. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Alan.
All right, a lot of stuff to talk about, and I've got a whole list of things I'd like to ask about. So let me just kick it off here. Amazon.com has got some things going on with, I heard, called Prime Pantry. What the heck is that?
Well, when you're an e-commerce retailer, which Amazon certainly is, the one problem that you've got is how do you get products to your customers in a cost-effective way? You know, the benefit that you have of being a brick-and-mortar retailer is that your customers come in and they pick the products off your shelf, and you don't have to worry about shipping. Well, Amazon obviously has to ship the products to you. So they have a tool called Prime, as we all know about, and that offers free second-day shipping if you sign up for their package. Now what they've done is they've created a way to compete with Costco. And what they're trying to do is, it's called Prime Pantry, just like you said. They're trying to make it easier for you to be able to purchase larger items. So we're talking about soft drinks, bottled water, heavy, bulky items that don't normally ship.
Wow. And they just ship them to you.
They do. So what they do is they put it into a box. It can weigh up to 45 pounds, and the shipping fee is a flat $5.99 plus the cost of the items in the box, of course. And so you go on to Prime Pantry, you start putting items into your shopping cart, and it tells you what percentage your box is full. So, for example, if you put a 12-pack of soda in there, it makes the box about 23% full. But then if you add a 12-ounce bag of chips, it then makes the box just about 28% full. So you can see what's happening along the way, and the prices are really good. It's definitely going to be a competitor to Costco.
And they're going to ship this how? They're going to go through FedEx and UPS and stuff?
Standard shipping is how they're planning on doing it. You know, Amazon's very innovative. Obviously, they're not going to be able to put 45 pounds on one of their little drones, but they are going to be working with what they're terming last mile delivery. And what they're doing is Amazon, you know, when they figured out that they can't circumvent the tax laws anymore, they said, okay, well then we're going to put delivery facilities and fulfillment areas in all the states and basically bring our products closer to customers. So that's kind of the direction they're moving, and you know, you're going to see faster delivery coming out of Amazon soon as well.
Wow. Let's talk about something else, because I've been following this. I'm sure everybody's heard about it, what happened with the New York police. They have a social media campaign where they want people to, you know, talk about, I guess, show pictures of the people with the NYPD. And some of the people start posting pictures of the NYPD, you know, putting their feet on suspects and carrying people away, carting them away and stuff like that. So some people are thinking that backfired, but then New York PD is coming out and saying, well, no, we're glad everybody's putting all this stuff on there. They tried to make, you know, I guess lemonade out of lemon, and I think they really have turned this around pretty well, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. It has been very smart the way they've kind of turned it around. You know, anybody can post anything, and it was already happening anyway. People were already posting these photos with the hashtag NYPD, so it's not like you couldn't find this information if you were looking for it. What happened here was simply, you know, some people from Occupy Wall Street potentially and others were simply trying to, you know, hijack their public relations campaign. So obviously, you know, the social media managers, they had to have seen this coming, and, you know, they seemed like they were prepared for it.
All right. Something else I want to talk to you about, because I don't know, this can be kind of weird. Facebook has got a new app called Moves, and I'm not sure what that's about, but somebody said it was they track your every move. Who tracks your every move?
So this concept isn't new. You know, you've heard of all the little devices. You know, I think you've even mentioned them before, the footstep trackers and things like that that you can put on. But what's different here is that you're tracking it using your smartphone, and then you're sharing it with the world. And really, you know, it's not that new. You know, the interesting thing here is that Facebook is purchasing this company. So you've got to think, why are they so interested in that data? And one of the rationales for that is they have an image problem at Facebook. The image is that they're sharing your information without your permission, which they've certainly done in the past. And you know, they're under government scrutiny to make sure that they don't take advantage of the consumer and the privacy laws. So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, let's acquire this company. It gets a lot of data, and then by people downloading and using this app, they all all by themselves automatically are voluntarily giving us this data to use. And then what the end game there is, they can then start feeding you ads and information about businesses that you're near when you're on the go, so they can start selling you more advertising that's more relevant to you.
Wow. Well, I mean, it could be good, but it could be a little bit scary too.
It can, and I mean, you've got to decide in the digital world how much information you're willing to share. I mean, the reality is most people are not being tracked and followed by the NSA. Most people aren't being tracked and followed by Facebook. It's data in the aggregate. What happens is if somebody gets access to this app, for example, and they can see, somebody that knows you is probably the thing to be worried about. So you somehow make a mistake and they get access to this data, or you're publicly sharing it, and then they're able to more closely follow you and track you. That's what you got to be more worried about.
In a moment, I want to talk about Google's got a new feature that seems kind of cool about this Street View stuff. So I want you to stay with me. We'll come on back and talk about that in a moment. Talking with Kevin Richards, our tech news, Ventura Web Design. You can always find more out about them by going to allenstock.com on the right-hand side of the page. Click on the Ventura Web Design logo. They did, by way of disclosure, design my page and my whole site, and I appreciate it very much. They did a great job. I'm talking with Kevin Richards, Ventura Web Design. You can find out more about Ventura Web Design by going to allenstock.com and then clicking on Ventura Web Design logo on the right side of the page there. Let me get right to this last question, Kevin. The Google Maps has this feature I've heard about but have not seen about a street overview that changes over time. I've got Google, I've Chrome Google, and I go on it and I can see the street view, and you can go up a street and back a street, but I understand this one actually refreshes or something to that effect.
Well, what it does is, Street View obviously is the tool that allows you to see anywhere that Google has been with their little cars that take photographs, and what you do is you use maps, obviously. You drag that little stickman character over, and you drop him on the street where you want to see a street view, and you can look around as if you're there. Well, obviously they have tons of data, tons of photos over time, so now they've programmed their maps to be able to show you what that particular location looked like over time. So, for example, it starts back in 2007. You can log in. You can see what the Bellagio looked like back in 2007. You can see all the other hotels that were built between now and then, and you can do it as if you're standing right at that same spot on the sidewalk. So it's really cool. You can see the Freedom Tower being built in New York. You can actually also see, the deconstruction of things. You can see what happened after the earthquake in Japan. There's a lot of interesting data that's online now, and of course, Google is the one that's making that available.
I'm looking forward, I think, to the time when you'll be able to go on something like this and see it in real time. Of course, cameras all over the place, I guess, and that would freak everybody out, including me, I guess. But that would be something else to behold. One real quick last question for you. I heard about this Toronto woman who got herself like 2,000 men in 24 hours, and she put an icon of her picture on the page. I'm not sure exactly what she did, but what do we learn for something like this? People, who have businesses might want to use this.
Well, you and I have spoken about an app called Tinder, and Tinder is basically a dating app. It allows you to find people who are near you, and then you look at their photo and say, yes, I want to match with them, or no, I don't. So what she did is, she's a marketer, of course, and she was basically testing the concept of recommendation. And so she put an icon over her picture that seemed official, and it had the words hot match of the day. And the effect of that is what you just described. Over 2,000 men in 24 hours said, yeah, I want to go ahead and match up with her and start talking and have a conversation. So what we learned from that is that consumers, when presented with a list, are drawn to the picture that is different. First of all, the icon made it look different. And second of all, when looking for quality, we seek out recommendations. And the key thing here is whether or not those recommendations are trustworthy. In this case, she just made up her own trust icon and rolled with it. And as a business owner, you've got to decide, is something like the Better Business Bureau rating important to you? Are the reviews about your business on Yelp, are they important? And how do you monitor those? How do you engage with those people who are leaving those reviews and comments, both good and bad? So as a business owner, you've got to focus on your online reputation management.
Wow. Kevin Richards, our tech news, we do it each week. I want to thank you for being with us. You can find Kevin at Ventura Web Design. To get there, go to allenstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, click on the Ventura Web Design logo, and there you are. You're in touch with Ventura Web Design and Kevin Richards as well. Kevin, thanks so much for being with us. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll do it again next week.
Hey, thank you, Alan. Have a great weekend.